do y'all feel freedom's about? What is it for you?
Choice.
Choice. What's freedom for you? Speech. Freedom of speech. What kind of speech? Spiritual belief. I like it. Freedom of belief. Healing. Freedom. Freedom of love. You gotta love that. Freedom from the past, Ellen. I love that. So much of the time we get stuck in that idea of the past, and it kind of grabs onto us, and we forget. Very good, everybody, very good. Remember, there's no wrong answers in here. Freedom of, huh? Focus. Ooh, interesting, Barbara. Elaborate, please.
I can choose when I'm going down the road that feels good, I can keep going that way, or in that little space that doesn't feel good, I can make new choices.
I love that. So if I'm going, I was just like imagining this road on the way to Mendocino that's really beautiful. And often I don't want to make a left. I want to just keep going because it's so pretty. And that idea that we can just keep going or not, or free to choose again. What is your freedom? What is your freedom?
Freedom to be.
Freedom, and that's interesting, that's the name of one of my talks. Freedom to be. To be what?
Yourself.
To be yourself, to be you. What else?
Be what God.
To be one. What about God?
Be where God leads you.
To be where God leads. Freedom to do so. Yes, absolutely. Because we have free will. And we can choose, unfortunately, not to go in the direction God is leading us. And we've all experienced that. And not too much fun, is it, when we do that? Is it? Freedom. I'm going to ask somebody to get me a little ice and a little water, please, if that would be all right. Thank you. Oh, it looks like I have a little note here, but... Oh, it's very good. Good note. I don't know if I'm going to read it to you, but it's a good note. No, I will. I'll read it to you. So, freedom of faith. Just keeping you on your toes. Freedom of faith. Now, we've heard this many times. Freedom of faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. What the heck does that mean? What does it mean? Let's break it down. This is a biblical statement. This is one of the greatest statements ever made. It's old. It's very, very old. It's in the Old Testament. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for. Give me an example. Yes, Joanne.
Like $1 million. I've never seen it, but I know it exists.
And you were hoping for it.
Well, not necessarily, but I mean...
People do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say I'm hoping for it. Big time. So, because the statement is, the biblical statement is hoped for.
Okay.
Right? So, $1 million hoped for, the substance there, you may not, like you said, you may not be able to see it yet,
Right.
but it's there.
Right.
Right? You guys all know, can anybody argue with me, the fact that money grows on trees? Come on! It
It's
grows on
paper.
trees.
It's paper.
And plants, like fruits and vegetables.
Exactly. It grows on trees because it is made out of paper. Thank you, my love. And, what do you want to say, Michael?
And linen.
And linen. And the other thing is, money also, or gems, valuable things, are simply floating around in water and rocks. What does that tell us about abundance?
It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. It is us that has limited the idea of its accessibility. It is the substance of things hoped for. The thing is, if you dig deep enough, y'all find it. It's in the ground, it's in the earth, it's in the rocks, it's in the trees, it's all around us. And the thing about freedom is that if we don't feel that sense of freedom to be able to capture those ideas of substance and turn that substance into something that is no longer hoped for, but is actually manifesting. that's a really good point. We must first imagine it, right? Hoped for, there's another one. Hoped for would be imagine it, right? Because if you cannot imagine something, it is not likely it'll show up. Why is that?
You wouldn't recognize
Because
it.
you haven't created it.
Haven't created, who said that? That's right. We haven't created it. What's that?
I was gonna say something like you haven't set the goal to like work towards it.
We haven't called it up.
Visualize.
You
Haven't
haven't recognized
recognized it.
wouldn't recognize it.
We're not recognizing it. And the thing is, everything, you guys, everything that exists on this planet was first imagined. And if we don't become Imagineers, then we cannot achieve our greatest ability in life. Huh? We must visualize it. We must. Because ye are gods. Say it.
Ye are gods.
Ye are gods. And the reason ye are gods and we are gods is because so I love to use real life examples rather than to be way out there and in talking about things that seem far off. Why not talk about things we all do every day and we all go through every day, right? So this experience we've had through moving from our beautiful home up in Placerville to this gorgeous home in Fair Oaks has been phenomenal experience. And in this phenomenal experience, we had to when we first got the letter, we're taking back the house after 10 years, you must vacate because we want our house back. When we first got that letter, we were not able, in that first moment, we were not able to imagine something better. And at least in my imagination, here we'd spent 10 years co-creating with spirit, imagining the backyard and imagining the flowers and imagining the feeling and then going and that the substance of things hoped for, those things manifesting and creating themselves in themselves, out of themselves. We create the whole thing. It's there. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's just the way we want it. And now all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. And in that moment, in those early moments, we had to get a hold of ourselves and go, my God, here I've spent 10 years nurturing we are a certified backyard habitat, which means there's no pesticides, everything's organic, everything back there serves the wildlife in a loving, positive, running water, there's shelter, there's food, there's everything that they need. And for 10 years of it, and for me, I got hung up in the idea that have I betrayed the animals? Did I betray them by calling them forward, nurturing them lifetime after lifetime, giving them a place where they imprinted, flew all the way back after every migration, came back home? Did I betray them?
No.
I had to struggle with that.
No.
How come? How come you say no?
Because it is the law.
It is the law.
Laws of attraction.
That's right. The law of attraction states that whatever we create, we keep creating. That whatever it is, that Divine Mother certainly does not need me to take care of birds. It says in the Bible that the birds will not toil and spin in discomfort, worrying, and holed up in the barns, worrying about how they are going to be tended for, right? So I had to get that in my head and say, okay, so we go to this new home, which I said to her this morning, I feel like we're in a high-end hotel here. I mean, it is really, it's the most beautiful home. It's a remodeled, interior decorated home. So it is so beautiful, it reminds me of a real high-end hotel. And so every day I get up and I think, are we checking out today? It is just so beautiful. And wait till you all see it. I mean, the backyard and oh my God, so much beauty. And we brought all of our masters and all of our flowers and all of our beauty. And we set it up with the beauty that was already there. And now we sit there and go, oh, we did it again. We recreated it
That's right.
again. But here's the thing. I have to say, the house we had before was falling apart. The squirrels were taking over. They had their two belts on, man. And they were just like, come on, get out of here, man, because I'm going to take over this house. And they were like eating the walls and getting into the walls. And, you know, they were taking, and nature was starting to grow over the house. And, you know, nature was like, get out of here. I'm taking this place back. And then we go to this new place. And this new place, artists created it. Real, like Barbara, real artists, and Murray's artists, painted every inch of it, created every inch of it, so it is magnificent. Brenda Bowles from SLC did 2 of the rooms herself in the home, and it is gorgeous Italian tile, and beautiful hardwood floors with prayers underneath the wood. I mean, we had to imagine that there was something better, something that we could find that had a good reason for us. And I share this with you guys. Haven't you ever gotten frightened when change came? Haven't you ever felt like you did not have freedom?
Yes.
Like it was being forced upon you? Well, let me tell you how many tears the 2 of us cried. Seriously. It felt like we had lost our freedom. When in turn, we were actually given flight. We were given wings. And we're sitting out there last night, and the whole backyard is lit with those beautiful lights, the solar lights, and the water is running, and the masters are everywhere, and we just sat there just thanking God. Thank you, God, for the change. And thanking each other for the faith that we had to have. Because you see, we only looked at 2 houses. We only looked at 2. We drove by 6 or 7. Quickly. We're like, ugh, we kept going. And yet, this house, I shared that story before. This house called us. This house drew us through the familiarity of our SLC family. Because we're SLC and CUC and UC Davis, the other 2. We are at Unity Davis. We've got all these churches that people come from all the different churches, and I have been in all the churches, so we have this giant, beautiful family. And now we're living in a house that is made up of all those families. That's quite extraordinary, don't you think? The freedom of faith. The freedom to believe that anything was possible. The freedom to believe that we could live someplace that actually had more peace than we could ever imagine. The freedom to walk through our home in every room and feel like we're in an art gallery. The freedom to feel that sense of, wow, we clocked it. We're 12 minutes from work now. 12 minutes. Freedom. That gives us freedom to create here now, to get here now, and just create with everybody here, with all the ALC leaders, just create the most amazing place. That is the substance of things hoped for, you guys. You must first imagine it, but you must have faith, freedom of faith. If you don't, you can have freedom and a sense of freedom. You can get on a Harley and that feels free. You can put your top down in your Chrysler and that feels free. And you can dance wildly in the middle of the room and that feels free. But this kind of freedom is the freedom of faith. Tested. Where we had to be so, and I'm like, are you ever going to quit testing me? No. Okay. Freedom of faith. So this evidence of things not seen, we had not seen Bev and Kevin's home. We had not seen it. All I know is when I walked in the door and felt the energy, I felt the faith and the familiarity of family. And I turned and said, I know these people. And they said, you don't know these people. Yes, I do. I have the faith to feel the familiarity. I feel it. I was like, yeah, that's nice. Then we go out into the garage and it says SLC. Okay, there you go. Spiritual Life Center. You know what it was? Salt Lake City. freedom of faith, freedom of faith is to, we have these two homes we looked at, one that the Mitchell showed us and one that we stumbled onto, and both were magnificent, but the one that we chose was the one that was perfect for us to completely be caretakers in for 3 years. And see, here's another thing about faith. How many of you would be really super comfortable taking care of somebody's gorgeous home for 3 years and knowing you have to move out in 3 years? We have to move out in 3 years. That's faith. Something better is going to happen. Something better, most likely, is going to have an ocean smell to it. Something better is going to happen. A lot better is going to happen. And when that happens, we will then lead. We've already improved their property. Thanks to my friend, my beloved friends over here. I have quite a few friends here that have set up the water system and just completely put water in the backyard, the front of Gary. Gary totally set up. And so now we've already improved their property. They cannot believe it. It's what? July what? What's the day? The 6th. And we have already completely put in water systems thanks to Gary in the front and backyard. And Jen, his phenomenal helper. It takes that kind of willingness. We wanted to serve these people. We wanted to help. We wanted to blow their minds and do something fantastic for them. That's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. A willingness to give without being necessarily given back to, other than the freedom to live there. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love. Ding. Was that perfect? Have not love, I am nothing. So I'm talking about, here we are moving and at the same time asking our friends to improve the property, which is so beautiful outside. And from my love for Bev and for Kevin, and my love for the people that created this home, and my love for all the good things that have happened in our life, my love for the amazing people here that have just continue to blow me away. Without love, I am nothing. Say that after me. Without love.
Without love.
I am nothing. Think about it. Who are you without love? Who are you? If you know, this is the thing. When do we get in trouble? When do we make mistakes? When do we make most of our mistakes? When do we gossip and put down and say nasty things and be rude and get scared? And when do we do all those things?
We're outside of it.
When we're what?
Outside.
Outside of what? Love. We do those things when we forget that we are created in love. That love is all there is. How could you hurt someone you love? You can't. Yet we have all experienced hurting somebody and then turning around and saying, oh my God, how could I have done that? I love them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Without love, I am nothing. No matter what we do, I don't care how rich, how famous, how much you have, doesn't matter how many friends, how far you go. Without love, we are nothing. Love is the part that feeds us, because you add, so here's how I like to put it. We'll use a car. The car is you and me, right? The vehicle. When you fill the vehicle with love and you point it in the direction of your desire, guess what happens? You get there. You absolutely get there. The car will take you right where you want to go, because what is driving the car? Love is driving the car. Love is not rude. Love does not gossip. Love does not put down. Love does not dispel. Love does not hurt. Love simply forgives and chooses again. True, true. So we are free. Yeah? We are free because we are free when we recognize when we are not loving, when we are not creating, and we can do what? 2 words? Course in Miracles. What can we do?
Choose again.
Choose again. Let me hear it.
Choose again.
And by the way, how many times can you do that? Infinitely. It frees us. Truly I say unto you, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. A faith of a mustard seed. Have you guys seen a mustard seed? It's so tiny that I can, you put it in your hand, and it's hard to see. And what it's asking us is it's saying, can you have just that much faith? Guess what it's asking you to have faith in? Love. Very good. And where does that love come from? Through what?
Faith.
Yes. That our faith, the freedom to have faith, the freedom to have the faith of a mustard seed is to use the power of that love in, through, and as us to move the mountain. The mountain is a metaphor. Well, in your lives, let me hear it. Where are you wanting to move a mountain? Where?
In my health.
Health. Definitely, Rhonda, you and me, we are moving some big, I was going to say big A, big mountains. Yes? We are moving some big mountains right now because it's going to take a tremendous amount of faith and a tremendous amount of focus and a tremendous amount of love. Of a mustard seed. Just of a mustard seed. What else? Let me hear where's your mountain? What mountain are you wanting to move? What is it?
Career to life purpose.
Career to life purpose. So the faith of a mustard seed. The faith of the mustard seed that when it's planted in fertile ground, which is this beautiful you, it grows out and through you and creates through you as the mountain is moved. True, true. What mountain do you want to move? Because, we talk in here, not just for the sake of the word, but for the sake of watching people's lives change.
Fear.
Of what?
Fear.
Move the fear, mountain of fear? Yes, get behind me. Because it is not real. It is an illusion. What mountain are you wanting to move? What mountain are you wanting to move? Doubt?
Bad relationships.
Okay, so bad relationship. What would you say if I was to tell you there's no such thing as a bad relationship? What might it be?
Learning.
A learning opportunity that you are priceless and you deserve nothing less. Is that possible? Let's lift it. Let's lift it. A good teacher always lifts a situation. They never go down with the ship. They lift it. Yeah? Any other last mountains y'all want to move? Because once you claim it, once you say it, once you have belief in it, once you get excited about it, once you're ready to move that mountain, get ready. Because it will move.
There's the abundance mountain.
Oh, we love that mountain. Yes.
Building a successful future.
Building a successful future which is already building itself through you, through the choices that you make. Right? What's your mountain?
Being able to understand and do God's work.
Oh my God. And you know what's beautiful? He said being able to understand and do God's work, you're already doing it. You're already doing it. I can feel your love from here. You're a love guy. You're a love muffin.
Tiger's grandpa.
Love muffin. And I can feel it in you that you have tremendous love for God. And that love for God in you, it can't help but use you. Your arms are the arms of God to hug. Your legs are the legs of arms to dance. Your voice are the voices for God to speak the truth. You are the love of God. At least that's what I believe. That's the freedom of faith. Yes?
Yes.
Good, good? Turn to the person next to you and say, you are the freedom of faith. You are the freedom of faith. Now say, I am the freedom of faith. I am the freedom of faith. Say, I am wealth. I am abundant. I am living God's purpose. I love myself. Turn to someone and say, I love you. I love myself. Here we go. I am well. I am well. Very good. Last, come on up here, guys, and we're getting ready as we take this beautiful place here. All right, here we go. I love some music anyway. Faith expects from God what is beyond all expectation. What? Yeah. It says, faith expects from God what is beyond all expectation. Because expectation, I'm going to help you out right now. Look at it like this. Is an expectation limited or limitless? It is limited because it's an expectation that it will look a certain way and the form will be a certain way. So it will have like this. So here's your expectation. What happens to the not expectation?
Infinite possibilities.
Infinite possibilities, Joanne. Now the expectation has been transformed into infinite possibilities. Yes, I do my work. I visualize. Yes, I make my vision board. Yes, I do my journal. Yes, I go to class and learn about how limited I may be and not know so. I do those things. But most importantly, I remember that as a child of God, it is not possible to be limited. We have to, amen, because we have to be limitless. For God created the universes and called it good, and then said, ye are gods. What? It happened. It happened. We are gods now. What are you going to create? Your freedom of faith this week. What will your freedom of faith show you this week? What will your freedom of faith draw you into this week? You know, the work that we're doing on Wednesday night is pure intimacy. And it is all about the idea of healing within so that we can create out here. And we cannot create anything from here that is not a channel, an open, healed channel. Join us Wednesday night. Come be with us. Even if you come one time, check it out so that you can say, I felt something. I grew in consciousness rather than to think, you know. Come check it out. The reason why I want you to be here is because I love you. And I want everybody to get beyond their expectations. I want everybody to fly. I want everybody to achieve everything you've ever dreamed of. And we cannot do that if we are limited in our belief system. We cannot do that if we can't heal ourselves. Physician, he said. Physician, heal thyself. And that's exactly what we're doing Wednesday nights. And I'm watching it happen. It's very exciting. We are healing and we are falling deeply in love. And we are watching manifestation in its early stages begin to show in these little seeds of hope. It's substance of things unknown. It's evidence of things now beginning to be seen. You are the freedom of faith. Go fly. Go fly and be free. Be the faith. Teach everyone around you. For you are the teacher. Every time you lift a situation, you are the teacher. Thank you very much.